Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
So which was the least amount you ever collected as a model?
The least amount I collected was working for free.
I like that.
And that wasn't the cause. That was because I could not decide not to do the job if there was nothing attached to it. But I just felt that what was offered, and because of the person who was offering, it was better I did the job free and have that, what do you call it now, goodwill. You know, I have that goodwill credit that take the money and it's assumed I was paid, even though I'm not happy that.
Happy with the okay.
Let's do it for free. Yes.
Okay. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, what would you say makes a good model?
Well, first of all, a good model will have to have the structure of a model. There's something expected for a model to look like, and you know, the structures are different from a runway model to strictly photographic model. For a photographic model, you have an attractive face, basically, because it's actually the face that speaks most of the time. Attractive face, averagely well-built structure for a man or a woman. In height, you have to be at least 5'7" for a girl, and maybe about 5'8", 5'9" for a male model, you know. And confidence, you have to believe in yourself that this is what you want to do. You have to be ready to understand that you are not the product you are selling, but you are the animation of the product you want to sell. So apart from what you would have as natural endowments, these are some of the things that will be checked out by those who will be casting you to know if you fit the bill as the time goes. But the first thing you just need is the interest, the love for it, and the confidence that you can do it.
Okay.
Important.
Okay. So what makes a good actor?
Well, ability to assume a character that is not yours naturally. That is the first step. Your ability to do that. And ability to convincingly depict that in a way directed by your director.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know, in those days when one, you know, is growing up and they see you as somewhat of a clown, you know, in the family, you know, you're the one who makes everyone laugh as, this one will be very good actor. Well, it's not all it takes, you know, because when it comes to the real grind, they are much more expected of you than just being able to plan around. And the reason why that happened is because, you know, in the early times, most people who were actors were actually jesters, people who were there to entertain and make people laugh. So your tendency to be a comic personality, you know, mostly disposes you or predisposes you in the minds and the consciousness of the people that you could make a very good actor. But later in life, we started realizing that acting is much more serious business than just clowning around, you know, and making people laugh.
I like that. I like now, considering the fact that one of those who gave you your earliest encouragement in acting was Olu Jacob.
Yes.
How do you feel about his current medical challenge?
It's very disheartening, I must say. It's very disheartening. Not because we can play God, you know, to wish that it never happened or blame God for whatever is happening. But if we had our way, we would not let that happen. Because, okay, how did Uncle Olu, you know, come to become my mentor, as it were, you know, my model, my role model for acting, is that when I was invited to act in NT, it wasn't because they had seen me anywhere act. It was essentially for my star power as a top model and Nigeria's first choice model. That is how I was invited. I didn't go to look for a job there. I was invited to be part of it because I felt my face being on that you know, particular episode I started with for Third Eye, would enhance whatever it is that they had. And I remember that my first appearance before the camera, right there in the studio, I had butterflies flying out of my mouth, and it affected the way I delivered what I was supposed to deliver. And fortunately for me, Uncle Olu was on set on that day. So he just asked for a break, called me out, gave me a talk. And I think what he just did was to remove me from the initial frights, to realigning me as a model that I was, that I had faced different crowds. And if you remember what I was as a model then, I was that person who could communicate with the crowd, who could single out individuals in the crowd and tease them while I was modeling. So he made me remember that what I did, all the things that I achieved as a model, was more or less active. I should bring the same spirit to bear, even as I'm doing it right now there at NTA Studios, where we're recording Third Eye. So just about 10-15 minutes of that talk, and when I came back, I was smoking. At the end of the day, that became a different person. It became so good that it was broadcast several times, over, and I was very happy, and that gave me, the confidence that I could really go on with acting. At that time, modeling was still booming. In fact, the expose that I got, going for that NTA recording was that, no, this cannot really be a future for me. But having seen Uncle Olu with the rich history that he has, with the robust resume that he had, leaving all that he had in the UK and coming back to Nigeria to be playing this at NTA Nigeria, I felt, okay, there just could be an alternative here. So let me just hold on to it. Let me do the best I could while I'm still, exploring and exploiting my modeling potential.
Interesting.
As it turned out, shortly after, that was the reason for modeling to die, as it were, and acting to become the new fad. So I was at the right transition at the right time.
The right time. I like that.